guys, what's going on? Down below, a little off to my, you see this image. Well, it's there for a reason. And that reason's quite simple. I'm going to talk about Overunity and open system thermodynamics. You cannot have infinite energy because that would imply you're going to have to create something from nothing. As far as I know, that's impossible. What you can do is reuse and get as much power or conversion or work done out of the same energy as possible in order to get farther in whatever you want to do. Whatever this preferred output here is. Or work available to run a load or whatever, which is whatever you're going to do or make use of or whatever. Energy is both a bit of an abstract concept and a verb when you talk about it. In practice, it's a verb. That's why you can't measure energy. Oh, that was a good arm pop. But you can measure its expressions when manifested wherever they will and however they will. You know, electrical, magnetic, electromagnetic, kinetic, gravitational, negative, nuclear, sex. It's the multitude of energies that invoke the three of the what is in physics considers four fundamental interaction forces: chemical, thermochemical, heat or thermal, physicochemical, electrochemical, and etc., etc., etc. I could list the names of energy that are. I can list those manifestations on and on. This would be all damn day, but that's beside the point. It's energy, essentially the ability to do work. That's why it's a verb and a construct. When talked about in practice, a bit of a verb. Power is different. It's related, but it's different. It's how much you can get done with the manifested ability to work. Or specifically, the manifested expression of the ability to do work that you want to put to use in whatever a machine or a process you're wanting to get output or work available out of. Okay? Power. So the equation for power is just excuse me, energy divided by time. That's why you say kilowatt minutes, kilowatt seconds, kilowatt hours, watt minutes, watt seconds, watt hours, and so on and so forth. That's power. It's how much work you get done out of the manifested expression of the ability to do work in a given time. The more work of whatever it is you want to do in as little time as possible in this process or device or machine you want to get whatever you want done out of, you're using to get whatever it is you want to have done, the more efficient. Remember, timing is everything. Time is key here. So theoretically, you can have a massive amount of power from specific units of energy. Excuse me, had a long night. Sorry about that. So you can potentially get more work done out of the same energy. But to do that, you need to understand what open system thermodynamics is, what closed system thermodynamics is, and lastly, what isolated system thermodynamics is. You have to learn what each one of these is. And by the way, isolated systems are closed systems by necessity of being isolated. Alright. Open system thermodynamics are how most things in the universe operate from what we've seen so far. They exchange mass and energy in and out openly, and they can take multiple kinds of energy manifestation or expression inputs to make a single or a few outputs. You know, environmental input, user input, recycled input, preferred output, which is the work available to do what you want to do, or to run, like for example, to run a load. Energy recovered to be used again. That's the recycled input. Output loss is stuff that's dissipated as unrecoverable. That's how this works, okay? An example, Aaron Murakami's used this, and I'm going to use it too. When you fly a kite, you're doing this very thing. You're putting in one input unit of work on your end by running to make it go up, make the string, you know, make a draft so the string actually gets pulled on and the kite goes higher and higher and higher. But you need 9 environmental inputs of wind in this case to carry it to do 100% of the rest of the 100 to carry it to 100% of, you know, of your work done that you're trying to do. If the wind, for example, breaks the string on your spool loose and makes your, you know, flies your kite away, the environment put more than 9 inputs of energy needed to get the work done to fly the kite. Regardless whether you get 9 inputs or more, regardless, the second being less desirable if you're trying to fly a kite yourself, and, you know, obviously, you're still going to get a big coefficient of power, you know, a COP of sorts. That's an example. But you're relying on the environment to do the rest of the work. So you got a coefficient of power. There are other systems you can look at in this exact way in the real world, whether on Earth or out in the universe. The sun, other stars, except neutron stars, they're fundamentally different. That's why I list them as an exception. There are a couple others, but I'd rather keep this simple as I can. And brown dwarfs do this rather inefficiently all the time. A lot of physicists say it's inefficiently done, but you know, and they have arguments for this from what they know. You could, you know, the suns, the different stars, except neutron stars, and its variation, those variations of those, and brown dwarfs are examples of open thermodynamic systems. Okay. Now you could say the phrase free energy and use it in a sense that you get a bit more surplus work out of your process or device or machine than what you put in. But that's not free in the sense you gain something from nothing, now is it? No. That's, again, as far as we know, completely butt-fucking impossible. So, naturally, that's kind of a thing. What you might have managed to do is look at the very things, the very workings that your process or device or machine is working with, and buck them or game them in the way to expand on how that and to expand on what you can do, how much work you get out of it, and how you can do this, how you can mess with the principles and the system, the system's characteristics in a way that you can get extra work out from what you put into it, basically. Like open the environment, to open it to the environment, figure out what kind of loss you're getting, and figuring out how to catch it and send it back, and like in this picture here, and other things possibly, or how to mess with a fundamental like law and how it manifests and make it work with you to an extent, or how to overcome some of its consequences while it still takes its course and does what it's going to do, so it's a damn law. You know, you're not going to mute it. You know, as examples of this, potentially. Now you could swap that well-poisoned two-word phrase with extra work or something of that matter, or say you went over work conversion unity. Okay, if you want to get a good book on this, this book, The Meaning of Unity in Energy Conversion Systems by James F. Murray III. This is a fantastic book. It actually teaches you. I'm thinking about ordering another copy because some of the pages were not properly glued to the spine, and if I'm not careful, they will come out. So I'm thinking of getting another copy. Anyways, there's like the two efficiencies and the related calculations of the section you really want to go to, and you also want to look at the math that is used here, you know, and it does you know, conversion efficiency and then system efficiency are the two efficiencies. Where you're never going to get to unity in a system efficiency of the process or the machine due to inherent losses like friction, this other losses that are dissipated as unrecoverable. But other losses you can minimize or maybe even get rid of, you know, maybe, and get more work out of it in order to go get more conversion efficiency than what you would normally get out from what you put in. That's how you know, figure out ways of doing that. Okay. Now, but this is a book I would strongly recommend everyone get. And there's a presentation on open system thermodynamics by Doctor of General Science Peter Lindemann. I'd strongly advocate look at. And I want you to look at the thermodynamics laws in the description below if you want to read that further. If you don't understand it, it's fine. Get someone that does to read those off and simplify it for you. But the first and second laws of thermodynamics, they tend to be, you know, they're basically equations. Because I'm trying to keep this, you know, short as I can here. So anyhow, as I was saying, you could swap the you know, free energy phrase with extra work, or you went over work conversion unity. But again, that's drier than your mom's twat when I word it that way. So these are all examples of like open system thermodynamics and explaining them. Using multiple genuine inputs from the environment and your primary input and catching any kind of loss and reusing and figuring out how to reuse it. These are the benefits of like open system thermodynamics, and I guess energy dynamics in general. And these are how it's possible to have conversion efficiencies above 100. But that's the only efficiency. Process or system efficiency, not likely. And I'm trying to expand on how to explain how to figure out what if so-called free energy devices, right? If they actually are, you know, if they do some kind of overunity of some sort. This is to help you shit test things that are claimed to be free energy devices. And also to expand on how a touted free energy device doesn't operate perpetually and doesn't actually use that well-poisoned phrase. But I'm trying to help you understand how overunity of conversion is possible, right? The difference between conversion or transformation unity and system unity, that are two different concepts. They get conflated, swapped back and forth all the time. They are related, but they're not the same, and they also have a lot of disconnect between them. The next issue is, if you're going to claim that something that performs over unity, it needs to be understood what exactly the hell that means. So is your system over unity? Okay, tell me how you've gotten past unity in the system or just the process itself. Okay, oh yeah? You fucking can't. That's just what I thought. Is it conversion efficiency of overunity? Okay, cool. Explain to me how that is, what it's doing to get this. Is it capturing a loss and repurposing it? Is it drawing external input from the environment of some sort? Is it doing both? Okay, cool. Got proof. Another link I'm going to post is over here, and I'm going to bop a Sci-Hub article. This is one of my favorite examples. For instance, it's an Overunity LED, light emitting diode. It converts. This example can convert 30 picowatts of alternate current into 69 picowatts of light photons, light waves, visible light, and it pulls heat from the environment to generate the other 39 picowatts. That is a conversion or transformation over unity, and that's an example of that in the real world. And that's how it did it. This is still a paper. And you can actually go find this in search quant. You can actually find this out there in the Semantic Scholar, PubMed, dspace.mit.edu, ResearchGate, Europe PMC, Stanford EDU on the thermoelectrically pumped LED. There's also all sorts of articles that actually, all sorts of papers that actually cite this. So those are what you need to look for when someone says something works over unity, and ask these questions. Anyways, I hope I've explained what overunity means properly, what actual overunity means, and how it can actually work well enough for you guys. Okay, hopefully I explained it well enough for you guys, and I'll see you later. But yes, go check this out in the description below, read those laws, and check out that presentation if you got the DOS for it. I would recommend this book first, after reading the thermodynamic laws in the description. Thanks for watching.